Hi, welcome back. It's Dawn. I'm playing again in another core palette. This one is called, I believe this one's called Granulating. I just got through writing that on the top of this page. And I don't remember now, but anyway, or I don't remember if that's the exact words they use, but it's close enough. So in this palette are Ultramarine Pink, PV15, Ultramarine Violet, also PV15, Ultramarine Blue, PB29, Cerulean Blue Chromium, PB36-1, Cobalt Teal, PG50, and Cobalt Green, PG26. Now I've swatched them already, and I wrote the names on the back. I forgot to write the pigments on here, but I'll do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another mother exercise. Only this time, instead of making the mother in the lid, which just makes a mess, I went and got a shallow dish. This is a little dish from IKEA, and it is it's going to be my I'm not a big fan of the silicone part of this particular palette, and while I don't dislike having the mother here, I don't know, I just think I want it over here. It's a little easier to control, I think. Or maybe I don't know, we're just gonna play. So I'm using my Skoda 10. I've got a 5 and a 1 sitting here ready to go as well if I need that. But I'm going to pull this out just a little. First, we're just going to swatch the colors themselves. So we're starting with Ultramarine Pink. And if this palette is anything like the other one I just did, it's going to be fairly pigmented. Although that is not screaming pigmented, is it? Oh, that's all right. I'm just going to... And then what I'm going to do here is just start making a mother here instead of washing it off in the water. I'll just start making the mother here. I think I'm going to try to grab a little more of that now that I did that. Okay. Very pretty. And I wonder, you know, what I'm going to wonder is if we make a mother with this, if that mother's going to granulate. Because all these 6 are granulating. So will we retain, I mean, one would logically think that we would. All right, what colors is I've already forgotten? Violet? Yes, Ultramarine Violet. And I'm going to label my paper too. Of course, I'm going to do this. But I like to be able to play. And this time I'm not going to use the stencil. I think I'm just going to draw circles. I haven't decided yet, though. I'm just going to get the color down and make the mother. So one of the things I learned in my last core watercolor situation was that if I got one dot, a dot and a dip of a color, so if I got a dot of the pigment and then dipped heavily in the mother, I got one color, which, you know, I liked. But then when I would dip heavily into the mother and only barely grab the pigment, I should go back and watch that footage because I came up with a little mantra. How to remember dip and dot and dip. I don't know. It's been a long day and I've kind of forgotten now. All right, we're moving on. Ultramarine Blue. Ooh, that's nice and creamy and yummy. Anyway, we're going to play with the mother again. And if you've got some paper handy and a little palette like this with a limited palette, go grab some water and a little shallow dish out of your kitchen. And it could even be just a regular saucer that your coffee cup goes on or something. Don't matter. All we're going to do is just play a little bit. And I'm just putting, you know, a fair amount of pigment in here just so that I can make the mother. Wow, that blue didn't want to come off. All I'm doing is I'm dipping it in the water and then running it across the lip of this little bowl until it kind of runs clear. And I'll do it over here just to make sure. Okay, it's clear now. Close enough. And I'll give it a little swish. All right, so now we're moving on to Cerulean Blue Chromium. Very pretty. I like that. I'm not sure I understand what a chromium paint is. I'm sure some of you who know things more than me could educate me on that, but it's all right. Do a little bit more here. Next, we'll grab Cobalt Teal. One of the other things I was going to say is I'm not sure what kind of mother we're going to get here because none of these colors really cancel each other out. Why did I do that? I don't know. This is Cobalt Teal. None of these colors are not cancel, but are the others. Well, maybe the pink and the teal might. So I don't know what kind of mother we're going to get. I may have to add some Payne's Gray to this or some neutral tint, which will also give you the mother-like effect. Now, why did I clean the brush when I knew I wanted more teal in there? I don't know. All right, last one is Cobalt Green. Let's grab. Looks like there's not a yellow to neutralize the violet or an orange to neutralize the blue. So I'm not real sure how mothery this is going to get. But, you know, we'll just add some Payne's Gray or neutral tint and call it a day. All right, there's the Cobalt Teal. We're going to add, now we're going to clean the brush there and kind of get that down in there. Swirl it. See, look. Ooh, something took over. Ultramarine? I don't know. All right, let's add a little more green. All right, clearly we're going to need to add something here to neutralize this because otherwise we have a very nice undersea blue. All right, so my bag of tricks, I keep just off camera. I can, nope, none of those. Probably this one. I keep neutral tint and Payne's Gray at the ready. No, Mayan blue. Ah, neutral tint. Here we go. And Payne's Gray. So, I know this is QOR. Now we're introducing Daniel Smith, but it's the way it goes. And I've never done this, so we're about to see. Oh, hello. Well, that neutralized it, didn't it? And that's very gray, though. Well, neutral tint is kind of gray. What's in this? PV19. Alright. So, what am I thinking? I'm thinking I want a little orange or a little yellow to kind of bring it back to... I know, now I'm cooking the books, but... What about Cad Yellow light? Yellow. It's a gray-blue. Maybe I want more orange than Cad, but let's just add a little of this to warm it up just a little, because this is awfully cool. Okay, I just made green. Great. Great. So now I need to add a little red. And here we go. Here we go. Should I do opera? Am I bold enough to do opera? Oh. I don't know, Rick. Okay. Boldly go. I think that might have done it. We're going to test it. Ooh, ooh. I warmed it up all right. Did I make it neon, however? Well, you had opera. What were you going to expect? Alright, let's get another piece of test watercolor paper. This was in my scrap bucket. It's pretty brown. And they have found a really good neutral mother. Oh yeah, I think I can live with that. A little watery. That that was my own fault for adding too much water. Okay, I think we can live with that. I think we can get real happy about that. And oh, I meant to put the mother here. Silly. There we go. All right, now let me figure out what pattern I'm going to do to neutralize all of these and make them all talk to each other, and I'll be back. Okay, so what I did was my mother was super wet. So I actually let it dry down and evaporate, and then I just rehydrated it just a little, only put a couple drops of water in, and then just swirl the paint around to reconstitute it so that I can get a little bit more of a better look, because this is what dried it looked like a minute ago, and now see how much better it looks. And by better, I just mean darker. It looks when I do it now here. So I'm going to put it here again. I'm going to kind of layer it over top so that we've got that for... And it's a doctored mother, because when you put all these colors together, it was blue. You saw that. But I still want to play around with this idea and using neutral tint and a little bit of what opera and whatever else it was I used. I forgot now. But anyway, so we're going to grab a little bit of the pink, ultramarine pink. And then I already have some other on here, so I'm just going to start. Oh, we're going to make our little swatches here. I'm not going to tape this one off. I'm just going to swatch it and see how this looks when we put the two together. I really want a bit more ultramarine pink than that. Let's see. There we go. That's a little better. I'm going to grab my little swatch off, cast off book where I just take the paint and make marks with it. And I'll use it later. Alright, now let's do the ultramarine violet. So I'm going to grab a pretty good amount of the violet and then a little bitty dip of the mother. Oh, I don't think that's quite enough violet. I might have to spray my paints a bit more. They've kind of dried up a little bit, I'm afraid. Okay, let's do that. Let's just spray them ever so. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Violet, mother, okay, and then we're just gonna bloop, 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 bloop. I even get into the dry brush and I'll do some swirls. Why waste the pigment? All right, so then now let's do the ultramarine blue. I'm gonna grab a pretty good hunk of that. A little bit of mother. Okay, next is the cerulean blue chromium. And then cobalt teal. lastly, we're going to do the cobalt green. I'm not sure I've ever really played with cobalt green before. Alright, and with this cobalt green still on my brush, I'm just going to go ahead and start working on my squares here. Oh, do I want this size brush though? Well, we'll find out soon enough. So I'll be curious to see when this is all said and done if this is granulating, because you know obviously up here they're granulating and we won't know till they dry down whether or not those actually granulate or not. It'll be interesting. Alright, I'm going to pick up a little mother and then probably should have done that backwards. Picked up the pigment, then the mother. Yep, I'm going to grab a little water. Alright, let's go here. I want to think that the granulating properties might disappear when you start adding in other things, but you know, maybe it still shows up. I don't know. Do a little hopscotch on this one instead of doing them in a row. Especially since I really don't have a Roy G. Biv on this one too. These are much more, you know, cousins on the color wheel than they are unrelated. They're more related than unrelated, complementary rather than analogous. They're more analogous rather than complementary. Is what I'm trying to say. Oof. My brain hasn't kicked in yet today. I'm just going to do like a hopscotch pattern. I think that'll be cute. Instead of doing a gradient. And what I tend to do with the hopscotch pattern like this is I just do just a descending amount of value because I don't add any more pigment from the initial pigment. I'll just keep going with this pigment until it just gets so faint it doesn't seem worth it to do it anymore. So anyway, okay, this pigment is the Everlasting Gobstopper here apparently. And let's do one down here. And maybe we'll go pick up the cerulean or the ultramarine. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna pick up a little water. No, I'm gonna go pink. I'm gonna pick up a whole bunch of pink and a little bit of mother. Then what I'll do next time is I'll do the opposite. I'll do just a little bit of pink and a whole lot of mother. Yeah, it looks like it might still granulate. That's the fun thing about doing these little practices or exercises or whatever, is you get to see how these things play with each other and interact. You just don't know. And it's not a necessity to do it this way, to be able to play with your paints, pull your paints out and do whatever, but I do like doing this because it really helps me become familiar with them. Woo, got dark that bad boy. Oh, this whole time I didn't even look up and to know that when I go down here I'm off screen. I am so sorry. You'd think I would remember to watch myself. Pfft. Hello, pay attention. McFly. All right, that was pink. Let's do cerulean next. So a whole bunch of cerulean. Oh, but I'm off camera, but it's just gonna have to be that way, I guess. You have to trust me. Cerulean. Hello. And a little bit of mother. All right, let's dive in. Let's see. Trying not to put my hand in the wet paint, which is always a bit challenging. Oh yeah, I like that color. It's a very cool palette. This would be, trying to think what this would be good, you know, like a sea, undersea mermaid, even a peacock. I think this could have potential peacock values in here, or excuse me, or like a coral reef, maybe. Or just a seascape. Yeah, this is definitely still granulating, this cerulean. I like this hexagon shape too. It's not too complicated to paint. Gives you a little bit of a pattern without being overly patterny, and I just like it. Okay, let's hop over to violet, I think. So a whole lot of pigment and a little dollop of mother. And we'll jump down here and do a stronger color down here because we've got these bunch of big strong colors up here. So we're gonna just come down here with the violet. And I did not get enough pigment because that looks like all mother. All right, so again, for this first initial pass through, we're doing big dollop of color and a little dip in the mother. And then we'll reverse that shortly. Ooh, I still have cerulean in there. Dang. All right, well, we're just going to roll with it. This is not perfection. It's just fun. Yeah, I still had some cerulean on there. That's all right. The mother is all about having all the colors, right? So where's the harm? There isn't. The other thing is I do this for relaxation too. Especially if I've had a really stressful day, it's nice to just sit down and do this. It gets me into a Zen state. You know, I could go watch TV, or I could play a game on my iPad, or read a book, or watch a movie, listen to music. All those things do the same. Except this somehow triggers a little something extra. I don't know how to describe it. Except I got a frog in my throat, so it's keeping me from trying to describe it. I'm going to put a really pale color in here. I think that'll be good against all these super dark colors. Give your eye a place to rest. Okay, so that was violet. Although it didn't look very violet by the time we got to the various subcolors. All right, so the last one left is the ultramarine blue. So let's grab some of that, heavy on the pigment, and the smallest dip into the mother. And let's pop a dark color over here so that your eye travels around the page from the dark colors. Normally I like to like spin my book around, but I'm not feeling it today. And clearly I'm not being precious with my shapes either. That's okay. Excuse me. Fighting a frog again. All right. That was a really bad shape, but we are moving on. This ultramarine blue is pretty pigmented. All right, I'm gonna clean my brush off for a second. Clear my throat. All right, so now we're going to do, we've done the whole all six colors. So now what I want to do is the opposite. I want to be lightly pigmented. I'm just adding a couple more drops because it's really dry in here today and these are drying out fast. So I'm just picking my brush up and just putting a few drops in. So now I'm going to pick up a little bit of pigment. So do a little dip and then a big dunk over here in the mother. So I'll start off with the green, the cobalt green, and I'm going to do a little dip. Come on, activate please. All right, and then a big dunk. Ooh, seemed heavy. All right, and then I'm going to come down here and see. Woof. It just feels brown. Black, whatever. Okay. Trust the process is what my brain is saying. I'm like, okay. This feels wrong. That just feels, there's like no green in that whatsoever. All right, we're gonna try that again. Clearly I got way too much mother. Let's try that one more time, Mr. Cobalt Green. Don't be afraid to start over. I got too much pigment on this one. Well, we're just struggling with the process here. That's all right. What I'll do after I paint this hex is I'll go, this honeycomb, is I'll go get one more mother and keep going. We don't give up. Trying to balance this out with dark and light. I'm going to grab the pink next. I feel like I got a lot of green and blues going on because this palette is a lot of green and blues. So I think in order to make this feel good to me and balanced, I'm going to want a bit more pink than I would normally do, because it's the only non-yellow, sorry, non-green blue color. Hope that makes sense. All right, I gotta start moving this around a little bit. This is just getting too awkward. To try to dance around the wet puddles of paint, I mean. There we go. That's looking better. Okay. I may jump over and do the cobalt teal. Let's see if we can get a good mid-tone value on these. Ooh, there's barely any mother. I know I dipped it in there. What's up? Oh, that just like pure pigment. It doesn't look like I picked up any mother at all. I dipped it twice. What the heck? All right, I think I'm gonna go try to do the violet one more time. I really don't feel like I got that purple in here last pass through. So let me get the violet. I promise you, I'm dipping it in the mother. Let's see what we get. Okay, that looks a bit more violet-y. pigment on my brush. Now I had too much. Oh well. Not the end of the world. Right, this is the last one for Violet for this go around. I'm not sure I'll circle back around. There aren't that many squares left, but let's see what we got. I think I want to go back to chromium, or do I want to go back to, yeah, I think I want to go back to chromium. Let's see, if we go down here, there's a lot of green and purple down here. Just don't feel like I'm getting, I mean, feels like I'm not even touching the mother. That's where I dropped a piece of water earlier. I dropped a little water. It's like blooming out. Bloomy, bloomy. Bloomy, bloomy. Well, my idea to do more mother-based ones just seems to have vanished in the wind, because these seem to be more pigment-based, but okay. Or pigment-heavy. Lighter values, yes, but pigment-heavy, meaning not much mother showing up. Alright, that was chromium. Should I do ultramarine? Let's do a pale ultramarine. Let's see if we can just barely get ultramarine to show up to the party without taking over. Is this possible? We're about to find out. See, no, it's not possible. Ultramarine. All right, I'm going to offload some of this pigment onto my little sketchbook over here. I'm going to grab just a dot and a dunk. Let's try this again. Look at you. You're such a bully. Don't be a bully, a color bully. All right, I'm going to take some of this pigment off. My brush is still kind of dirty. And then I'm going to grab some more mother. I'm really trying to, don't be afraid to experiment with your colors. If the mother's not showing up right, you might just be in a part that's got a lot of water. You're not getting any pigment. See, that looks very different from that, and that's exactly what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve not a piece of artwork here, but variations in color. All right, I'm grabbing a tad more mother. And I'm going to come up here, see if I can get that denim blue. Yep, see, look, there it is. That's nice. Let's try to stay on camera, Dawn. Yes, that's also nice. That's a very denim blue. Ultramarine. Calm down with a whole lot of mother. Turns kind of denim-y. I'm here for it. Look, that's quite pretty. All right, this is what I was trying to do earlier. Just keep at it, people. That's the lesson. Don't give up. Mostly talking to myself. All right, let's try this. And see, this is here. Same color, but different levels of mother and different levels of pigment strength. Look at that. And that's something. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. That's fun. This is when it gets fun to me. Okay. Not that the other isn't fun, but this is when it really gets fun. Let's do the last little bit of ultramarine in this little hexie right here. Okay. We're liking that. Now, we've got how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I'm doing 3 or 4, I've got at least 2 more colors I can put in here. So when I squint my eyes, I'm looking to see, all right, what am I not seeing represented? I still think the pink could be in here a little heavier. So I'll go do another round of ultramarine pink. I'm going to clean my brush pretty good so I don't end up with purple. So I just had blue in there, right? I'm going to grab a little bit of pink and a whole lot of mother. Dip and dunk. All right, now hopefully, if this comes out too heavy, I will offload it. See, it did. Came out kind of purpley. So I'm going to offload onto my little blotter book over here. All right, let's try it again. A little bit of pink and a pretty good size of mother. All right, I can live with that. It's kind of grapey. All right, let's put in a little bit of grape here as well. But don't be afraid to start over if the color isn't to your liking and you go, nope, it's not what I was looking for. Just offload it onto a piece of paper, clean off your brush, whatever. All right, I'll do another grape here and then we'll move on to another color. This almost looks like the ultramarine pink now rather than, oh wait, Dawn, what are you saying? It is ultramarine pink. Whew, people, my brain is very tired today. Okay. I want to play with the cobalt teal and see if I can get that muted like I got the ultramarine blue muted. That's a hard, ultramarine teal, sorry, cobalt teal is, it's also a bully pigment in my view. So I'm going to get a little bit on my brush. I'm going to take a little off actually, and then I'm going to grab a bunch of mother. And then let's go see if we can get, okay. Yes, that's exactly what I was hoping for. It was the more muted version of that. It kind of borderlines on the cobalt green, to be honest. But I'm okay with that. Sea glass, that's what I was thinking earlier. Makes me think of sea glass. Not all of it, of course, but some of it. Okay, now, what have I got? 3 spots left. What do I want to fill it with? Decisions. Let's go the cerulean. That's like a blue-gray. Oh, I like that. One more here. Nice. I think I'm just going to do a pretty heavy ultramarine pink with a bitty bit of dollop of mother. I mean the bittiest of bits of dollops of mothers, and I know that's going to sit here and feed back into that other one, but I don't care. And that, my friends, is the end of another little fun exercise in playing with a limited palette, making a mother. Ooh, I didn't label these. I'll do that for the final shot. And you know, just playing out in a little pattern play. Thanks for stopping by again. It's been lovely painting with you. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.